Welcome to Psychic Holistic Spotlight. I'm your host, Josie Way. Co-hosting with me tonight is Bill Hannon and Cathy Medeiros. Tonight we have a show with Cathy Foster, who has had a most interesting experience with her mediumship, and it's led to her establishing a foundation.
Yes.
Tell us all about it.
Okay, the name of the foundation is called Heaven's Precious Angels. And it came about because I was in Florida last November, and I had gone down for an advanced mediumship workshop. And half the people were there for the mediumship, and the other half of the people were there was because they were there hoping for messages. It was called Forever Family Foundation, which was geared towards parents who had lost children and people that were grieving. My intentions for being there was for the advanced medium workshop, and it was a weekend event. And I was sitting at this table, this round table, 'cause in the morning we had guest speakers come in and they were talking about different subjects. Well, I'm sitting at this round table. All of a sudden the table disappears and there's this girl standing in front of me, and she had on a tank shirt with a number and track shorts, and you know, she was tall and thin, she had long hair and a ponytail, and she's bouncing a basketball and shooting hoops. And I'm like, okay, so what is this all about? So I started doing automatic writing, and 2 days, I talked to this child for 2 days, and you know, she was 17 years old, her mom sat a table away from me, and how I ended up meeting her mom was that my sister and her sister were outside sitting together on a bench having a conversation, and I walked into the conversation and she says, oh, my sister will give you a reading. So that's how it came about, and then I just like channeled 7 pages of messages and gave them to her mom, and she like read everything and confirmed everything, and till this day that child's energy is still with me. She's helping me. She's the one that's guided me to start this foundation. I just spent a week in Texas working out the agendas. I'm trying to put together my first conference where I can have a group of people who have lost loved ones, brothers, sisters, children, husbands, wives, to educate them. And what she's telling me is that she wants to, through me, help educate people who have lost loved ones, to help educate them that life does go on after life. Life does continue. And she's constantly coming in and giving me little messages to give to her mother. So her and myself and her mom are texting back and forth. And sometimes her mom is down and having a really bad day, and she'll come in and say, hey, let my mom know this. And it's just confirmation about something that's going on. Like the most recent one was her anniversary of her passing. So she came in and she showed me everybody planting a bunch of flowers, and she started laughing because she said, you know, my mom's gonna think this is funny because she don't like to garden. So I sent her mom the message and saying, you know, did you just plant a plant in memory of April? And she said, plant a plant? She said, we planted a whole bunch of plants, but I didn't plant them. You know, so it was just to let her mom know that she's still with her, around her, in her energy, watching over her. And the point that she wants to get across is it's all the signs and the symbols that our loved ones on the other side are bringing through, but we're not seeing them because sometimes, you know, and it's only natural that you're hurting from your grief, that you can't, you know, see what's right there, what they're trying to show you.
Yeah, because the energy is so low when you're trying to grieve.
Right, so this girl, she was 17 years old, and she committed suicide because she was just, said she just couldn't function anymore. You know, and now that she's realized that it was the wrong choice and wrong decision to make, and, you know, she wants to get the message out there that, You know, when she's even told me that she wishes that she had thought twice about it before she did it. So it's just, she just has a very, very powerful energy, and it was her idea to put this foundation together. I'm actually working on a third book, and it's called, and the girl's name, the child's name is April, and it's called April's Angel, Life After Life. And so how she wants this book structured is for people to share their stories about the passing of their loved ones and how they are leaving behind the signs and the symbols, you know, like pennies from heaven, or you just sit in a room like this and all of a sudden a feather comes down in front of you, you know, or you hear their favorite song on the radio. Those are all signs that they're still with you, they're around you, and they're just trying to get your attention.
Yeah,
So they are so close to us all the time that sometimes we forget.
Yes.
I know
Yes.
one of my signs from Justin, the first 4 or 5 years, was we had different taste in music, but we had one song we both liked, and that would come up on the radio from A Kiss from a Rose. It was, he liked it and I liked it, and I would get tears every time it came up.
Right.
Because I know it was coming from him, especially if it was played twice in a 2-hour period. You know, I knew he was around.
Yeah.
And that's you recognizing that.
Yeah.
Sometimes they actually sit right by us, though. So sometimes when we look to the side and we think no one's there, the body's not there, but the soul is right next to you.
Right.
You know, so because we pick up on the energy that they're really like right there though to us. You know, so it's those things.
Usually, depending upon the circumstances, a child does leave a little piece of himself with the parent.
Right.
You know, with particularly a mother.
Right, and wherever you are, especially if we're doing mediumship at church, her son is a character. If we have a bunch of mediums like we just had recently up at the stage and we were all giving messages, he came in and he was behind each and every one of us to get up and just constantly give Josie messages.
Well, I hadn't heard from him. It was his anniversary. It passed and I hadn't heard from him. He must have contacted me, but I wasn't, you know,
Recognizing it at the moment, yeah.
So he made sure.
Oh, he made sure that we all were giving Josie messages that day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely a nice comfort, you know, to know that they're so close to us all the time.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
And the other thing, I know you want the foundation to help people better recognize that there is life after death, but there really is life after life in the sense that, you know, in death, many of them find their callings, the things that weren't. Life itself here was not giving them everything they needed.
Right.
In some cases, and they find the answer to their prayers in the afterlife.
And they do. They really do, because in the afterlife, they go through a healing process, and they advance, and they move on, and they help. They help educate
Right.
people that are here.
That's
Like
right.
April. This child works with me all the time. She's educating me on what's going on over there. She's helping me to establish this foundation.
Right.
She's helping me to step out of my comfort zone.
Right.
You know, she's helping me to learn, and that's through her book. It's April's Angel. It's going to be life after life and not life after death, because she wants everyone to be aware that it is life after life.
Right. There is really no death. It's just the transition.
Absolutely.
So what's the intention with the foundation? Like, what kind of format, though? Do you want the meetings to be?
Yeah, so the intentions with the foundation is, through April's words, she has shown me an angel pen, that I am to get for everyone to have. Also, she wants everyone to have a citrine crystal and a watermelon crystal.
Oh,
She wants everyone to understand that even through the grieving process, that they're still very much with you and by your side. And she also is trying to get that message through the book. And I also have a page on Facebook, and it's called Heaven's Precious Angels. And anybody that's on my friends list has received an invitation to that page. And I have invited friends of friends. So I'm trying to get that out there. And there's also a send email link on that page as well. If you have a story you'd like to share, if you have lost a friend, family, a loved one, a child, anyone, you know, and you'd like to share their story and how they touch your lives and how they come in and still bring you messages and bring you pennies and bring you hearts. I have a sister in heaven, and she brings me hearts all the time. You know, like I would get out of my car in the parking lot and look down, and there'd be a heart sitting right there. And that heart was the answer to the question that I was facing heading into the place that I was at. So, you know, that right there, I was looking at the situation saying, oh my God, this is not good, this is really bad. And when I got out of the car and I saw the heart there, I knew right then and there, my whole attitude changed. And I picked up the heart and I said, thank you, Doreen. And I know everything's gonna be okay. I know everything's gonna work out. And my niece was fine. So it's just like recognizing, and it goes back to just expanding your awareness, you know, and looking outside of the box and looking for the signs and the symbols and the messages and just being open to receive.
yeah.
Right, and you have to express that you want to be open.
But you also have to understand how to come to. You know, that's what I find
Right.
with some people. They struggle with that part, that they don't know what the signs could be.
That's actually the first chapter of the book. Even
Of
though
April's
it's
Angel,
going
okay.
to be, yes, for April's Angels. The first chapter of the book is going to be like a fundamental breakdown of how to open your eyes to see the signs and the symbols and expand your awareness to recognize. Like, she wants people to be educated on how to look for them.
Yeah. So it's definitely a twofold thing, though. You have to be open to it, but you also have to recognize what they are, too.
Yeah.
So
They're-
it's definitely.
They can provide proof of more than that they're well and that they're following you in your life. They also can give you guidance in the way you're living your life, because that new opportunity that's come your way that you don't like very much may be a real blessing in disguise.
Right.
And they can give you that guidance to let you know this is something that's good for you.
And they prove the continuity of life by bringing in situations or events that can be confirmed. You know, beyond a reasonable doubt. You know, it's like,
There's no way a stranger would know something like that, something that
Right.
specific.
right, and just like, you know, April's mom, her name is Amy, and she lives in Pennsylvania. And I didn't know her at all until I met her at the convention. And, you know, it's like I was describing her daughter to her, what she looked like, you know, what she liked, what she didn't like, you know, and it was just amazing, you know, and she's like, oh my God, I can't believe you know all this about her. And I'm like, well, she's telling me, you know, how else would I know this?
That's right.
You know, so when she's having a bad day, you know, she'll send me a message and say, oh, do you have any messages from April? You know, has April been around? You know, and then April will come in and she'll give me a message and I'll send it right to her mom and it'll be spot on.
It's amazing how close they are.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
yes.
amazing.
Yeah. And you do want articles.
Yes, yes. I actually have an email address, and it is preciousangelsinheaven@gmail.com. And you can get to that link through the Facebook page, Heaven's Precious Angels. So anyone is more than welcome to send in your stories, and I will work with you if you're not sure on how to write it out. I'll work with you, and you'll always have the final approval and the final say. And if you choose not to do it after you write it out, because
Now,
it's a heartfelt situation, and
can this be anonymous if they just want to?
Yes, it can be anonymous.
Barbara D. from
Yes, and I will.
Rhode Island or
and
something.
I have already decided we're not going to use last names. I'm not going to use addresses. I'm just going to use the first name of the person and the state. So, that you'll be comfortable knowing that your name and address is not going to be out there. It'll just be your first name and the state that you came from.
Yeah, so there's some anonymity in case there's something very personal in the story.
Right. And if they decide at the end of writing it out that they decided that, no, I just can't do this, I don't want this out there, then that's totally fine with me. I really understand. It's a really tragic situation for some people.
Yeah. It's
You have a lot
but it
going on right now.
softens.
I do.
It softens over a long period of time.
And April's motto is, if we can heal one person's heart, one step at a time, 1 minute at a time, to take one breath at a time, she's accomplished something. And this is her goal. This is what she has set out to do. Her intentions from the other side is to help people heal and understand. And that's what I've gotten out of everything that she's asked.
I wouldn't be surprised if part of her life goal when she was here was communication and expressing herself, because that sounds like what she's doing now.
Yes.
Yeah, which definitely shows that, we do have stuff on that side to do too, jobs, lessons too as well. So it's not like we're just sitting on a cloud though waiting for nothing to do. You're busy there too, yeah, I know.
I'd be bored silly.
True.
She is very, very, very busy. Very busy.
Now, are there other people in the angelic form? I mean, some people are you referring to basically an angelic being. I usually refer to or feel comfortable using an angels basically being, different classes of spiritual beings rather than somebody that's just passed, but she's fulfilling an angelic purpose.
Yes.
So the thing I find interesting is, along with working with this young lady who's passed, are there other people that have come through to you that have given you guidance as to how to navigate, through your books and your...
Oh, yes.
I mean, not just stories, but somebody who's kind of stuck with you a little bit.
I have a little girl energy, and she's about 6 years old, and she's been with me since I can remember. And she's the one that helped write my first book, Sharing My Secrets, and they gave me that name. It's like, okay, we're going to share your secrets. And we're like, okay, we're going to what? Yeah, we're going to share your secrets, about the angels in your life. And that book was like, it just flowed from beginning to end so easily and effortlessly because they were there.
Right.
Like I was just doing this, they were just sending the information through. And some of the things I didn't even remember until it came up.
Sure.
So, and then I have angels, I have archangels that I work with every single day.
Well, that's yeah, exactly.
Every
that's what I was saying
single
before.
day.
That's what I was saying before also when I asked for the question to ask for help. You have to put it out there.
Yes.
It's not just, learning to recognize something that may be appearing in front of you, and you may not be conscious of it. But by actually putting out there that, you're looking for guidance, you're looking for help, you're willing to learn, you set the intent.
I wrote a prayer that I say every single day. And what I say is, I ask God and Annie, who is my 6-year-old little child, and my sister Doreen.
Yeah.
And then I ask Archangel Michael, Uriel, Gabriel, Raphael, Sandalphon, and Metatron to please.
You're calling it a big guns, huh?
I am. I ask them to please guide my thoughts and my words, so they're all expressions from my heart.
Sure.
For those that I come in contact with, and please work with me and through me for my highest good and my highest healing as I go throughout my day. Amen. And I say that every single day. Every day.
Yeah, that's cool. Now, do you only work with the angels, or do you work with ascended masters, other enlightened beings?
I do. I have, they're kind of like behind the scenes. Like when I'm really in a pickle or I really need instant help, I usually go up higher.
Sure. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so much.
There is. Those are the particular ones that I've worked with my whole life. So I'm kind of like used to them and used to their energy. But if you talk to different people, they'll have their different friends upstairs.
Sure.
It's whoever you feel drawn to, whatever type of learning that you want to learn. There's all different teachers for different lessons.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, there's so many different orders of angels and so many different levels of angels. And
Right.
It's just interesting. The Urantia book is a book that I've read in the past that goes into so many
Details.
Oh my God! It's just amazing.
It's supposedly the history of the Earth. It's this thick. It has paper thin.
Yeah, it's about 2,300 pages, but it's
pages.
divided into 4 sections: the central and super universe, the local universe, the history of the planet, and the life of Christ.
That sounds interesting.
It is extremely, but I'm not getting off on any tangent. The thing is that it opened my mind to the orders of the angels and what their specific tasks were. And they even offered the hypothesis that in some respects the angels, when they transport souls to heaven, that it's not wings that you see, because they don't need wings. They think where they want to be and they are there. It's just that they travel 3 times the speed of light, and that the soul, not being synthesized and in vibration with heaven yet, would burn up at that speed. And it's actually, it's just a protection for the soul.
Yeah.
It's just amazing. You would never think of some of this, but
It's like, how many times do you stand there and you see something moving in your peripheral vision? And by the time you turn, they're gone by the speed of light. We're on the Earth, and the Earth has a dense energy, and we just can't keep up with that.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah.
Now, going back to the foundation, do you want to just stay local, or did you want to eventually be nationwide?
Nationwide. So yes, I'm extending the invitation out to anyone and everyone who would like to share a story.
Okay. Now,
And they can share that story, and you can go to Heaven's Precious Angels and like the page, and then, or you can send it to preciousangelsinheaven@gmail.com.
No, that's for the book, correct? Or is that just for anything?
That's for the foundation.
Okay.
That's for the Heaven Precious Angels Foundation. In the book, yes, for the book, to submit their stories, yes.
Okay. Now, did you get a lot of stories yet, or they're still coming in?
Well, I'm just in the process now of just starting to receive stories.
Okay.
So
it's going to take a little bit then still?
yes, it's going to take a while.
Okay.
Sure.
It's going to take a while. It'll probably be, my last book was about a year writing that one, so
Yeah, so it's
By
probably going
the
to take at
time,
least that
we
long.
get the stories in and get them together and
Now, going back to the foundation, do you want it to be like each state have their own chapter, or just go
No,
flow with everything, all in one?
All one.
Okay,
It's going to stay all one.
okay. That's a big task.
It is. It is.
It's a wonderful task because you're helping people, but that's a big task.
It is.
Now, this young lady, April,
Yes.
does she work with angels?
Oh, yes, she does. She does.
Because
And every
they're
time-
assisting her.
They are. And every time her energy comes into me, she's just like this big ball of light. And you can tell, I mean, her energy is just so uplifting and amazing. And she just has so much information that she wants to share.
Oh, great.
And
She's definitely done a lot of work on that side already.
yes, she
In the
has.
short amount of time that she's been
She
there.
has. She has. And she just said, like, when I first started talking with her, she just said that, it was really easy for her to communicate with. And that it was just really easy for her to just step right in with her energy. And then she took it from there. It was like idea after idea after idea.
What a gift. What a gift.
Yeah, it's all come from a place of love.
Not everyone would have accepted such a calling, so to speak, to do.
I sat back and I said, wow, this is huge.
Yes.
Like starting a foundation from scrap with nothing, and I've already accomplished laying out so much groundwork. And it's all with her help and her guidance. Like she just plants the idea and I just go with it. We even have a logo. We even have our angel logo that we've had designed that's specifically for that foundation.
Right.
What do you see as the future for pamphlets and things to help people?
Yes, like pamphlets and putting together little like trifold brochures. Hoping, once the book gets out there, I get all the stories together and get it off to a publishing company and get it edited, and hopefully we're just trying to expand and answer any questions that anybody has to the best of our knowledge.
Well, we're coming to the end of the show, and I want to thank you again, Bill, Cathy, and Cathy, for being with us today. Please come back and join us again. At risk of being boring, repeat how to contact you.
Okay, so I have a Facebook page called Heaven's Precious Angels. Please go on there and like the page and help support the cause. I'm also looking for stories from anyone who would like to share a story about their loved ones who has passed and who has come and left them messages, signs, symbols. I'm also, you can go on to Heaven's Precious Angels and click on the email link to, the email is preciousangelsinheaven@gmail.com.
Thank you.
Very good.
Thank you.
So.
I get the sense this is just